Imagine paying tens of millions of dollars for a private jet, thinking you've made the ultimate luxury purchase, only to discover that the real cost isn't buying it. The real cost is keeping it in the sky. Because when it comes to private jets, the shocking truth is this: owning one is like setting a pile of money on fire every single time you take off. So today, we're going inside the private jet market to uncover the hidden, jaw-dropping costs of running these flying palaces of the rich. Buckle up, because this isn't just about luxury. It's about money, status, and a lifestyle most people can only imagine. First, let's talk about the obvious part, the purchase price. Private jets don't come cheap. Even a small, entry-level jet like a Cessna Citation Mustang, something business executives might use, can cost around $3 million brand new. That's just the starter package. Step up to something mid-size, like a Bombardier Challenger or a Gulfstream G280, and you're in the $15 to $25 million range. And if you want to roll like the billionaires, with a Gulfstream G700 or a Bombardier Global 7500, the same jet celebrities CEO and royalty fly, you're looking at a price tag that can soar past $70 million. And that's before you customize the interior, want gold-plated sinks, a king-sized bed in the sky, a marble bathroom. Those upgrades can add millions more. But here's where it gets wild. The purchase price is just the beginning, because the real money drain comes after you buy it. Owning a jet is like owning a house, except this house burns fuel at 500 gallons an hour, needs a crew just to operate, and racks up bills whether it's flying or not. So let's break it down. Fuel is the number one expense, and it's brutal. A small jet might burn around 200 gallons of fuel per hour. A big Gulfstream or Global jet, more like 500 to 600 gallons an hour. At an average cost of around $6 per gallon of jet fuel, you're looking at $3,000 to $4,000 in fuel per hour. Fly from New York to Los Angeles, a trip that takes about 6 hours, and you've just burned through almost $25,000 in fuel alone. That's the price of a brand new card just to cross the country, and fuel is only part of the equation. Jets need pilots, not just one, but two for most larger models. A private jet captain's salary is around $120,000 to $200,000 a year. Add a co-pilot at around $80,000 to $150,000, and then consider that many jet owners also employ flight attendants, especially for long-range jets. That's another $60,000 to $100,000 a year. Just staffing your plane with a qualified, experienced crew can run you over $500,000 annually. And you're paying that whether you fly once a year or every week. Then there's maintenance, and this is where private jet ownership becomes truly shocking. Jets are machines that require constant inspections, checks, and servicing. You can't just park a jet in a hangar and hope it works next time. The FAA and aviation authorities require strict inspections based on hours flown and calendar time. For a big jet, annual maintenance costs can hit $1 to $2 million easily. Tires wear out after a few dozen landings. Engines require multi-million-dollar overhauls every few thousand hours. Even replacing simple parts, like a windshield, can cost tens of thousands of dollars. And you can't cut corners. Safety is non-negotiable. Speaking of hangars, that's another expense. Parking a jet outside is a terrible idea. Exposure to weather can damage sensitive systems, so most owners pay for hangar space at airports. Depending on location, hangar fees range from $50,000 a year for a small regional airport to more than $300,000 annually at prime locations like New York or Los Angeles. And that's just for parking. Insurance, you better believe it's expensive. A jet valued at $50 million requires coverage that can run into the hundreds of thousands every year, depending on usage and liability limits. Think about it. You're insuring not only the aircraft, but also the lives of passengers and potential damage in the air and on the ground. And here's something most people don't think about: catering and luxuries on board. When billionaires fly, they don't exactly grab a bag of chips and a soda before boarding. They want fine dining at 40,000 feet, caviar, champagne, fresh seafood, personal chefs, whatever the passenger desires. Each flight can easily add thousands more just in catering. If a celebrity wants a specific brand of wine or a rare dish flown in, the bill skyrockets. So what does it all add up to? The rule of thumb in the private jet world is that annual operating costs usually come to around 10 to 20% of the jet's purchase price. Buy a $50 million jet, expect to pay $5 to $10 million every year just to keep it flying. That's the true reality, and it explains why even many rich people don't own jets outright. Instead, they lease, charter, or buy into fractional ownership programs like NetJets, where they own a share of an aircraft and split costs with others. For many, it's the only way to make private flying somewhat practical, but for the ultra-rich, the costs don't matter. In fact, for some, the cost is the point. A private jet isn't just transportation, it's a statement. It says, "I can afford what you can't even dream of." It's status, convenience, and power all rolled into one. Imagine being able to decide at 10 a.m. that you want to have dinner in Paris and actually making it happen by evening. No TSA lines, no waiting, just step on board and go. That freedom, that time saved, is priceless to those whose schedules are worth millions per hour. Still, private jets have been under fire recently. Environmental activists point out that they're one of the least efficient ways to travel, with emissions per passenger far higher than commercial flights. Some celebrities have been called out for using jets to fly distances shorter than 20-minute trips that could have been done by car. And with climate awareness rising, the jet lifestyle is attracting criticism. But the truth is, demand isn't slowing down. In fact, after the pandemic, the private jet market boomed. Many wealthy individuals realized they could bypass crowded airports and minimize exposure by flying private. Since then, orders for new jets have surged, and waiting lists for top models stretch into years. Looking at the future, the private jet industry is evolving. Companies are investing in sustainable aviation fuel, hybrid, electric propulsion, and even hydrogen-powered designs. There's a push to reduce the carbon footprint without sacrificing luxury. Will we see electric private jets in the next decade? Possibly for short hops. But for now, the big intercontinental birds still rely on traditional jet fuel. And as long as there are billionaires who want the fastest, most luxurious way to travel, there will be a market for these airborne mansions. Let's put this into perspective. Imagine you're a billionaire CEO. You spend $70 million on a Gulfstream G700. You're paying around $5 to $7 million every year in operating costs. Over 10 years, that's not just $70 million for the jet itself, it's another $50 to $70 million just to fly it. Total, well over $120 million. That's the price of convenience. For some, it's worth every penny. For others, it's insanity. And here's where it gets even more fascinating. Not all private jets are owned by individuals. Many corporations own jets as business tools. They justify the expense by the time saved for executives who need to be in multiple cities in a single day. In their view, if a jet saves a deal worth hundreds of millions, then it pays for itself. The math might not make sense for you or me, but for them, it's a strategic advantage. Of course, chartering remains a popular option for those who want the luxury without the commitment. Renting a jet for a single trip can cost anywhere from $5,000 to $20,000 per hour depending on the aircraft. So that coast-to-coast flight in a heavy jet might run you $100,000 to $150,000. Expensive, yes, but still far cheaper than owning the jet outright. if you're not flying hundreds of hours a year. So, when you see celebrities or billionaires posting selfies from their plush leather seats, sipping champagne in a private cabin, remember, behind that picture, perfect lifestyle is a financial commitment that would crush most people. These jets are marvels of engineering and luxury, but they are also money pits, symbols of a world where cost is almost irrelevant and convenience reigns supreme. The private jet market is booming, and the fascination with these machines isn't going anywhere. Whether it's the latest Gulfstream, Bombardier, Dassault Falcon, or even converted airliners like the Boeing business jet, one thing is certain: flying private is the ultimate luxury flex, but it comes at a staggering cost. For the rich, it's a price worth paying. For the rest of us, it's a peek into a lifestyle that seems almost unreal. So now I want to hear from you. If money was no object, would you own your own jet? Or would you rather rent one when you need it? Do you think the costs are justified, or are private jets just wasteful toys for the ultra-rich? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed diving into the real costs behind private jet ownership, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more deep dives into the world of luxury, and share this video with a friend who loves talking about the lifestyles of the rich. Because this world isn't just fascinating, it's full of stories we're only just beginning to uncover.